right, so there's the main damage. All right, so I'm gonna start tearing this thing down. Try to get to all the stuff I need to measure these flanges, make sure I order new V-bands for the turbo inlet and the exhaust side, or the downpipe side. So I'm gonna start tearing this stuff apart, and hopefully we can another one. Jesus. Going up. Let's try some heat. Busted knuckles. So we had both these V-bands break. Stainless nut on stainless nut. Kind of my fault. Didn't put any anti-seize on there or anything. So luckily, I should have new V-bands with this kit. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect this oil line down here. That way I can pull the turbo off. So we'll disconnect this drain line. I'll disconnect the feed line. And then I just have the charge pipe. And we'll get this turbo off. Turbo should lift out right like that. So now what I need to do is take my mics, measure the OD and ID of these mounting surfaces. That way I can get some new V-bands ordered. So exhaust outlet is looking like it's about 3 and maybe 5/8 or so. The inlet side, or the inside diameter of this flange, looks like it's about 3 1/8 maybe, a little bit under. The turbo inlet looks like it's right at 3 outside diameter. Inside diameter is 2 1/4. So now I'm going to disconnect everything to the wastegate. Port 2 goes to the top port. From the T goes to the bottom. Then we just have a couple losing tools. Now we just have a couple coolant lines. Speaking of which, I did want to, since I just bled this cooling system, what I am going to do is take some hose clamps or some vice grips and crimp those off. That way they don't leak. These lines don't have a ton of coolant through them, but they do have enough to where I need to block them off. Thankfully, we had one bolt on the turbo system that didn't freaking break tonight. So you can definitely tell there's a lot of heat. All right. Now I know the dimensions on this, so we're good. And now I'll pull this head-fold off. Everybody talks about how the 10 point or the 10 mil is the hard one to find in my toolboxes and rationing wrenches and all that. The 13 is what I'm missing, so.
It's everything hitting my way today.
Some of this might be painful for you guys to watch, but don't worry. It's painful for me to do. All right, so I already noticed we have a couple more other cracks. Let's take a look. All right, so I just cut the clamps off. Time to peel all this back and see what kind of damage we got. You know, of course we have the one big hole, but I'm interested to see how many other cracks there are, because this thing was leaking, not leaking, but it cracked on numerous occasions. Lovely. Yeah, that really torched itself. And I'm sure it didn't help that we ended up making, man, probably another at least 3 runs with this crack. So we put a lot of stress on this after it was cracked, which is why it's torched. Can't wait to wash my hands later, because this is gonna be nasty. There's the other piece. All right, so there's the main damage. You can see Dylan had welded this up. So the GoPro died, story of my life. But here's the crack. I don't know why that's expand. Oh, I did repair a crack. But you can see Dylan added all this gusseting, broke right at the end of that, which is weird because it's just a wastegate sitting on there. So that's the big crack that I see right off the bat. Let's see if I can spot any more. Looks like there's some hairline cracks starting back here, but again, it's right where the wastegate line was meeting this larger pipe. Man, what a shame. So that was our manifold. Now, it's I'm gonna clean up, but then we can take a look down there. So I have a piece of 3-inch tube here. And it seems like, you know, it's tight, but there's plenty of room down there, especially if you go at more of an aggressive angle. This is a 45 or like a 30-degree piece right here. I can remove some of this material down here on this brake line, but I think we'll be able to fit 3-inch exhaust pretty easy. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna try using the GoPro a little bit more, just try to get some better video quality. We'll try it out on this one and just go from there. So anyway, catching up, this is where I ended my night last night. You can see I took that flange off, I cut the remaining stuff off, and then I also took some sandpaper and did some flat sanding, basically just trying to square it up. Now there was some porosity that you'll see when I pull this off, just from previous welds, but overall that'll be covered with a new piece of pipe. This side, I might do some more sanding, but it's got a nice multi-layer steel gasket on there, and it didn't leak before. But once we do the welding of the new manifold, that might change. So anyway, I have this all basically ready for Jacob to do his new manifold and exhaust. So I'm just waiting on material. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Ace Race Parts, and that's basically where this video is going to end off. So from a turbo standpoint and an exhaust standpoint, I think we are good. But you'll see in the next video that this product right here just came in the mail. So we're gonna start on that here right now.